Once upon a time, in a misty little town named Westford, there was a young woman named Evelyn Park. She had an extraordinary gift, the ability to weave magical worlds with words. Her pen danced across paper, bringing life to castles in the sky, talking creatures and heroes with dreams larger than their lives. But despite her talent, Evelyn struggled to find recognition in a world that seemed indifferent to her words. Her days were spent working at a dreary job in a small bookstore, where she dreamed of one day becoming a renowned author. But as months turned to years, Evelyn found herself discouraged by rejection letters that piled up like autumn leaves. They were polite yet firm. "Not for us," they said. "Keep trying," they suggested. But deep inside, Evelyn wondered if her dreams were nothing more than fantasy. One rainy afternoon, as she sat at her usual spot in the bookstore, writing furiously on a tattered notebook, an elderly woman named Agnes approached her. Agnes was the town's unofficial storyteller, known for weaving tales around the fire, sharing old legends with anyone who would listen. She had seen Evelyn write many times before, and always noticed the passion in her eyes. "Evelyn," Agnes said, her voice soft yet filled with wisdom, "I see that you're chasing something with all your heart. But the road you're on isn't paved for you to walk alone. You'll need more than words to reach the place where your stories belong." Evelyn glanced up, surprised. "What do you mean?" "Well, my dear, there's a special kind of magic in persistence. It's not about waiting for someone to say yes. It's about crafting your own destiny, no matter how many no's you encounter. Think of your pen as a wand, and every word as a spell." Inspired by Agnes' words, Evelyn continued to write, her heart filled with renewed determination. Yet, the world still seemed cold to her dreams. No publisher seemed willing to give her stories a chance, and every failure felt like a step further from her goal. But then, one fateful day, she received a letter that changed everything. It was from a small independent publisher named Beacon Press. The letter was different from the others she had received. There was no cold rejection, no polite dismissal. The editor, a young woman named Clara, wrote, "Dear Ms. Park, your manuscript caught my eye. It's unpolished, but it has something that cannot be ignored: magic. If you're willing to work with us, we would love to help you bring your world to life." Evelyn could hardly believe her eyes. After years of rejection, someone had finally seen the spark in her words. Clara, the editor, became a mentor, guiding Evelyn through the revisions, helping her refine her tale into something truly magical. The book Evelyn had written was about a young girl named Mirabelle, who discovers a hidden world of enchanted creatures and ancient prophecies. It was a story filled with heart, hope, and the kind of magic that made readers believe in the impossible. Yet Evelyn knew that even with Clara's help, there was still the looming uncertainty of whether the world was ready for her story. When the book was finally released, it did not become an overnight success. Sales were modest, and the critics were skeptical. But then something extraordinary happened. One by one, readers started to find Mirabelle's story. Words spread like wildfire. Book clubs, schools, and libraries began to praise it. And soon, Evelyn's work was more than just a book. It was a movement. The world was enchanted by her creation. As Mirabelle's world grew, Evelyn found herself invited to book festivals, interviews, and even a film adaptation deal. She was no longer the struggling author in a small-town bookstore. She had become a beacon of hope for dreamers everywhere. Years later, Evelyn stood before a sea of fans, holding a golden pen, her symbol of triumph. She had written not only the story of Mirabelle, but also the story of her own journey, from rejection to success. She could still hear Agnes's voice in her mind. It's not about waiting for someone to say yes. It's about crafting your own destiny. And Evelyn had done just that. She had woven her dream into reality, one word at a time. Like and share this story if you believe in the magic of dreams and perseverance.